Hi, Miss Scrub. How are
Hi.
you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
It's been about 2 weeks since I last seen you. What's been going on since then?
Oh, not a whole lot. I've been working, and work keeps me busy. Um, the holidays have been coming up, so I just did like a potluck at work, and I
Mhm.
loved it. It was so fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I did that. Just been hanging out, working. I've been trying to like exercise a little bit more because
That's great.
talked to you last time that like I wasn't sleeping a whole
Mhm.
lot, and so I thought maybe if I was a little bit more active, then that would help my sleep, and it's been going pretty well. So I have this park that I live by that I walk like every morning before work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long do you walk for?
Probably like a mile. I'm out of shape, so I just
A
gotta
mile's a
walk
long
for.
way.
But I probably won't ever run. But
Yeah.
I'll just keep walking.
Yeah, well, at least you're doing something.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
been good.
So, have you seen some improvement in your sleep then?
I do, yeah, because I, come home and I'm tired, from the walk and like waking up
Right.
earlier. I make myself get up, and so whenever I come home, by the time my head hits the pillow, it's out.
Wow.
So
Is that every night, or do you still have trouble sleeping some nights?
that's not every night. Some nights, like if I've had like a busy day or like a fight with my daughter or something like that,
Mhm.
then it's harder to go to sleep because I can't get my
Right.
brain to shut off. But it's been working. I'd say probably like 3 nights a week, I can sleep. So I
Okay.
mean that's an improvement from the way it was last time because we talked because I don't think I was sleeping
Right, that
through the
was
night.
definitely a concern I was having for you. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that you're having some improvements. And so, would you say on the nights that you're not sleeping, you say there's a little bit more going on, maybe some more stress
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's how, like, if it just like a bad day at work, I just can't, I think about it over and over and over and
Right.
like replay it. Or if I have like a fight with my daughter, then I just think about it and I worry about her and like what she's doing, where she's at, and hoping that she's okay. So, and that keeps me up. So, like, when I get to sleep, I can stay asleep.
Right.
But it's like whenever
Getting
yeah,
there is
getting to
the
sleep. Some
issue.
nights I stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, just because I can't get my mind to shut down. But I mean, yeah, better than it has been.
Right.
So.
Well, good. Do you have any plans for the holidays that I don't
Uh,
know?
I love the holidays, but
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of family that I talk to. I kind of told you a little bit that I don't really talk to a lot of family, but we do like a big Thanksgiving dinner, and I cook way too much than I should, and like go shopping, and I decorate, and what little I can decorate around the house, and I love it. So my girls are excited. I'm excited. The only, I'm anxious because I want my oldest daughter to come, and the way things have been, I don't think she will. So it'll be the first time in a long time since she hasn't been at Thanksgiving, but we'll still make the best of it.
Okay. Yeah, so last time we were together, we talked a lot about your relationship with your daughter, and I know that was a great source of, turmoil in your life and something you wanted to pay attention to and focus on. And I know we talked a little bit about maybe some past history of trauma. So today, where would you like to start and do some work on?
I mean, I know that, like, I want to talk about my daughter and, like, I want to fix that relationship because I feel like after that, everything will be fine. But I don't know. Some people just tell me, like, you got to figure out some stuff with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess if I can, like, work on myself, that would be good too. But that's where I want to focus on. But I know that people say, like, if I'm doing well, then they'll do well, like all my girls will do well.
Right.
So if you can, like, help me, be better, then I'm open to it. But, I mean, there's just so much going on with my daughter. I don't even want to think about some of the other stuff that I have going on.
Well, so we can start then with your daughter. I notice you're calling her by her. That's the correct pronoun. That's really awesome.
I've been working so hard on it because, because I heard what you said the last time, and it helped a little bit. So I really make an effort. It's so hard. I don't think people give me credit for how hard it is, but
I do recognize that's hard work. It's a huge change, especially as a mother. So I applaud you for that. I know I asked if you were interested in going to maybe a support group for parents who have LGBT children. Did you ever end up finding a support group to visit?
I looked a little bit. It was kind of hard to find, so I think I might need just like more help on what direction I should go in, because I don't know. It's still scary to me thinking about walking and telling strangers like all kinds of stuff, because like when I was in prison, we had like a pretty tight knit group of girls, you know, that we would talk to, like talk about our home life and things like that. But I just can't imagine sharing like my personal stuff with other people.
Right.
So, I mean, I kind of think about that, but I don't know. I looked, but I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Okay, so we're still thinking about it. And that's okay. I mean, it's not like one size fits all. You do need to find somewhere that, you know, speaks to you and gives you what you really need. And so I can help you. We can do some research together.
Yeah.
And
would the support group is that like only for me, or would my daughter come too?
Well, we could probably do both. I know we kind of talked about a lack of knowledge about LGBT youth in particular, but that community, you know, it can lead to maybe some feelings of confusion and just not knowing what to do. So I know there are some groups that can help maybe give you some education, and I can certainly do that as well. And then there are definitely resources that are for parent and child together.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that's the thing. Maybe I'd feel better if she was there with me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people are going to ask me questions about things that I don't know, and like I'm going to have to say things, you know, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, or people like think that I'm, you know, not like a good mom. So maybe if she was there, she could kind of speak and say like what she has going on, because I just think, I don't know, I've gotten it sometimes before that people would just say like, oh, you know, like you don't know that, or like you shouldn't say that, and just that's all I've ever known.
Right.
So I don't want to go somewhere where they're gonna like, you know, stare at me and expect me to have all the answers. I don't know anything.
So when was the last time that you talked to your daughter?
So she called me the other night. She had gotten into some trouble with some friends, and so she called me asking me if I could help her, and I think she had been out and needed a ride, because the people who she was with, I tried to tell her that they're not good people, she shouldn't hang around them, and that they're not good influences, but she doesn't listen. But she called me to go and pick her up, and so I did that, and I tried to talk with her a little bit, you know, when we were together, but she just shut me down and said that she, you know, this is all she needed from me, and that she didn't want anything else, and so I just let it go. But
so it seems like there's still trust in that relationship. She trusts you to help her when she's in a time of need, but it's almost like it can't get past that, because there's some still.
Yeah. And she knows that I carry a lot of guilt about not being there whenever she was growing up. And so I think that she knows that she can get what she needs from me. And so...
Right. Like you're trying to make up for it.
Yeah,
so
make up for last time. And I am. I know that I haven't, you know, always been there for her. So if she needs me to, you know, help her out when she's in a bind, like I will, but I don't want her to repeat the same mistakes I made. And so it's hard. I go back and forth between like, am I helping her, or am I just making the situation worse? But I feel like I'm her mom and I wasn't there, so I have to, you know, protect her now, because I wasn't there to protect her when she was younger.
So where do you think the issues are coming from then in your relationship with her?
I think she is like mad at me for not being there for her. She's gone through some of the same stuff that I went through as a child, and so I think she's mad at me that I wasn't there for her. And then I think her being like, going from like my son to my daughter, I think that she thinks that like I don't get it. But and she's right, I really don't understand like what's going on, and like I don't get all of it, but she knows that I still love her. So I think that she uses that, but I think deep down it's the fact that I wasn't there for her and didn't protect her, but I didn't have anybody to protect me. So, you know, that's just how it was.
Right. So, you think it's a mixture of her maybe blaming you for not being there, and also a little bit of maybe you not understanding her transition
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
female?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because, we've never really been that close, but we've always just kind of, like hung out, and she lived with us for a little while until she, moved out. But we've always had issues, like talking and communicating, and I didn't understand what she was trying to say, and she didn't understand what I was trying to say. So, it's just like every time I try to understand, she'd just pull away from me. And so now, this, since she's transgender now, she just pulled away completely.
Okay. So, can you maybe describe like a little bit like what those interactions look like? It's hard to, understand what your daughter's perspective is. And so, since she's not here, I want you to keep her in mind and still be respectful of her,
Mm-hmm.
and, try to explain things from her point of view as well.
Yeah.
And I know it's still not going to be a full picture, but it might give me a better idea of what's happening.
So, like, for example, whenever I went and picked her up from the party or wherever she was with
Mm-hmm.
friends, I started just to, say, like, these aren't good people and you shouldn't hang out with them, and, like, they don't have the best interest, like, your best interests in mind. And she just, like, snaps at me and says, like, you're not you weren't my parent for, 10 years. You can't tell me what to do now.
Right.
And then the conversation stops. So then I just don't talk because she's right.
Okay.
I wasn't there. So I can't really say, I can't say anything now. And she's grown too. Like,
right.
That's another thing. Like, I shouldn't have to tell her anything, but then again, I shouldn't have to pick her up from a party at 2 o'clock in the morning either.
Right. So there needs to be a balance of you are growing up. She's 18, right? Mm-hmm. So legally she's an adult, but maybe she still needs some more guidance.
Yeah.
She needs independence, but guidance at the same time.
And that's what I think too. I mean, I know I wasn't there for her whenever she was growing up, but I'm trying now, and I think that it might just be too late. Like, what's done is done, and so I don't know what to really do from this point, because, like I said, anytime I see anything or, like, make suggestions or, like, even, like, do you want me, like, she was looking for a job whenever we were, she was living with me, and I was supporting, all of us the
Mm-hmm.
best I could, but she said that she wanted to get a job. So I said, I started looking at places. I started pulling some applications and things like that, and she just didn't want anything to do with it. She said, don't try to tell me, and I don't need you, and I don't need your help,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want you involved in my business, and all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so then I just shut down.
But then she calls you for help.
Yeah. But I'm her mom. That's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Well, I can see that you really care about her and you want to continue to have a healthy relationship with her. And I think it's great that she does reach out to you, but I think maybe something that we could work on, if you're comfortable, is setting those boundaries with her. Yeah, you did make a choice in your past that, you ended up in jail for it, mm-hmm. but you're here now and you're actively trying to, make an effort with her and show her that you are there for her. You are trying to be supportive of her, and, that takes a huge, step on your part, and, it's not fair for her to take advantage of that.
So you think like whenever she calls me to pick her up, you know, like don't you think I'd be a bad mom if I didn't go and pick her up?
Well, I don't think you have to say, oh, no, I'm not coming to pick you up, but I think, you know, there's boundaries of speaking to one another respectfully and, you know, working on those communication skills with her, like between each other. You know, shutting down's also not effective. That's not helping anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I bet I could, you know, probably go about it and just like, I just want respect and, you know, so if she needs help, I could just, you know, say that she should be respectful.
Have you ever shared with her these feelings you have of feeling guilty and maybe some of the things that you had to endure when you were in jail?
I just feel like that's like adult stuff. You know, I didn't want to like put that on her, like share too much of what I've been through, because I don't have anybody, and I don't want her to end up like me. Like I don't have family to go to, and I don't have, you know, anybody to talk to, and I don't want her, you know, like I'm all she has. She doesn't have her dad, you know, in her life, and so I just want her to have a relationship, you know, with me. So I just don't want to ruin it. Like I feel like I got my second chance, and I don't want to mess it up. And like, yeah, so I don't want her to not have anybody like I don't.
Okay. Well, I understand the fear of like, you know, pushing too hard. It could lead to maybe a reaction that you're not anticipating or that you're looking for. But I think it is important to set boundaries with her so that, you know, she respects you as a mother and realize you are still her mother and you're trying to be there for her as her mother and not just someone to bail her out when she needs that. So what do you think are some ways we can maybe establish those boundaries with her when she does call you in need of something?
I guess I could like just talk to her and say like, if you need something before 10 o'clock, like I can help you. But if it's like after 10, then I can't come and get you. So maybe if she knew that she wasn't going to have a ride, she wouldn't go out and do some of the things that she does. I don't know. Maybe that's something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then say that you do go to her and you pick her up, and like you said happens previously, she gets upset with you about something and starts to shut down or push you away. What are some things you could do to maybe either prevent that from happening, which I know is hard, but like ways you could communicate with her and ways to also maybe let her know that that's not okay, that that's not fair to you when you're there trying to help her.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could just tell her, like, you know, I know you're growing up and you have your own life, but I just want what's best for you, maybe. Because I don't know that, I think she thinks that I'm just trying to control her and, like, tell her what to do. And I don't think that she realizes that it's just coming, like, I'm just scared for her. Like, I don't want her to go through the same things that I did. So I just worry about her.
Right. I completely understand. Okay. Cool. So let's plan on, you're going to set the boundary of you can only call me if it's before this time. I mean, you have a job, you have to work. That's, I think, really reasonable. And then if she does call after 10 p.m., are we going to answer the phone, or are you going to send it to voicemail? What's your plan for that?
So hard. Because I know when I was a kid, I didn't have anybody there for me. So I don't want her to ever feel like she doesn't have anybody that's there for her. So if I didn't answer the phone, she'd probably think that I didn't care or that she didn't have anybody, you know. And that probably stems back to, like, you know, my childhood and not being protected by my mom. So I just want to protect her.
So it seems like maybe the boundary of, you know, you can only call me before this time is something maybe you're not comfortable setting with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's okay too. I mean, this is an important relationship to you, something you're really wanting to work on. And I understand you're trying to maybe build more trust with her that's more apparent.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not comfortable setting that boundary, then
yeah,
you don't have to. So maybe.
Do you think that, like, if I said that she'd probably think that I didn't care about her?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm not sure how she would react personally, but I hear what you're saying. Like, it makes sense that you're saying, I'm not going to be there for you during these hours. I mean, I understand that the fear of sending the message, then I'm not there for you.
Right. I think I could, you know, let's do this. Because I really need to get my sleep. I like sleeping. So, and I don't want her to do the same thing I did. Maybe if somebody told her, like, you know, wasn't there for her, then she'd stop doing what she's doing. So maybe I'll try it one time. See how I feel.
Okay.
And if I don't like it, and I don't like the feeling, then I'm not going to do it again.
Okay. I think that sounds like a good plan.
Because I just, we'll see. I can't, you know.
And
we'll see how it goes.
Maybe if you, just an idea, if you do, you know, have to go meet her or pick her up from a situation that she's called for help, and she does start to shut down or be combative, you can maybe set a boundary there and say, if you're going to keep treating me like this when I'm trying to help you, maybe I'm not the person you really want help from.
Yeah.
Or
because I just want to know what she wants from me.
Right.
You know, does she just want me to be there when she needs me, wherever it may be? But you know, I've been in prison. I can't hang around with people and do the things that she's trying to do.
Right.
You know, like, I have kids to take care of, so I just want to know what she needs from me. But I think too, whenever she's in the car and starts saying things to me or, like, you know, attacking me, I just will, like, I normally just shut down. Sorry. Normally just shut down, but I think, I don't know, maybe if I just really put my foot down on that and said, like, I don't want to be treated like that, she would understand. Because I just think she's used to just, like, getting what she wants and having her way, and she knows I feel bad and she knows I feel guilty, so
Right.
she plays on that. So I'll try it.
So maybe we can just work on setting some more boundaries.
I'll try it.
So you keep referring back to your mother not protecting you. What are you referring to? If you are in full control of this whole situation, so it's up to you to disclose whatever or talk about whatever you feel comfortable with. I know we kind of touched on it last time. And I know withholding that information is a protective. I know a lot of individuals, they do it out of protection. They're trying to, it's like self-preservation. You're just trying to protect yourself. And I understand that. In my experience, a lot of individuals who have experienced similar things that's a common thing, a common, occurrence that they just want to protect themselves. But after a while, it can become, maladaptive and almost hurtful to you if you haven't gone through the process of healing and trying to move forward.
Yeah.
So
I just, whenever I was younger, my dad and uncle, molested me as a child, and it went on for years. And I always felt like people knew but never said anything. And I was young, and I didn't even know like what was happening to me, or like if this was right. But I just knew, like, you just know that that's not right, and that that's not how people should treat you. But I didn't have anybody there to like protect me, and even like when I got a little bit older, I told my mom, and she didn't believe me, and so I, after that, I didn't want anything to do with any of them. So that's kind of how, and like, it messed with like all the relationships I have, like with men. I was just like, whenever I was younger, I just had a bunch of relationships and a bunch of people, men in and out of my life, and that's how I got involved with the guy I told you about with drug trafficking. So it really messed me up, and I know what it's like to not be like protected, and I did that to my daughter. I feel like whenever I went away, and so I don't like, now I'm just trying to like redo it because I don't want to mess it up now. So I'm trying to just do what I can, but I think I'm like overdoing it. Like I think I'm like babying her too much. Like I think now she gets to do whatever she wants, and so I think it's kind of backfired on me.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I know that's a heavy, thing to disclose to someone, and so I thank you for trusting me with that information. Are you comfortable moving forward and talking about that deeper? Would you?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. I don't tell. Like, you're the first person I've ever really told. Like I said, I had that really close group of like people in prison, girls in prison, and you'd be surprised. All of us had some kind of situation that we went through. So I felt that I could talk to them about it. But
it's unfortunately a really common occurrence, and it's something that a lot of people, they struggle to talk about, and especially not talking about it and addressing it has its own set of negative outcomes and a lot of stress, anxiety, depression.
So you're saying that like all this stuff I went through as a kid, like, it affects me now, you think, still?
I think it's possible, even though, the last time we talked, you mentioned, it's in the past, like, I'm over it, I'm thinking about the future. Maybe it's not something that you think about every single day, but there is a chance that some of the negative impacts maybe seep into your everyday life, and they, present themselves in unexpected ways. So,
yeah.
But I think those are some things that we can address here together if you're comfortable. Like I said, it's always up to you.
Yeah.
The pace, you get to set the pace and the tone, and you choose what we talk about and how we talk about it and when.
Yeah. You've made me feel fine. Like, I know that, like, nothing I say is going to be repeated, so that makes it a little bit easier, and yeah, so I feel good talking about it.
Well, since this is towards the end of our session and it's a big topic, I want to make sure you're feeling okay, but also, maybe it's something that we could talk about the next time we meet and spend that time talking about it, since it is a lot to process.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think we can talk about it the next time I come in.
Okay.
So that'll be fine.
So just to kind of regroup and rephrase, so we talked about your daughter and maybe setting some boundaries with her. So I would like to hear about how that went the next time we talk, and then next time we'll talk a little bit more about the history you have with your family, with your dad and your uncle. And so that's something I want you to be prepared for, since it is such a heavy thing to discuss. And then, like I said, we'll go at your pace, whatever you're comfortable with. Do you have any questions for me or anything else you'd like to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that's all.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank
I'll
you.
See you next week.
See ya.